Hi guys, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I got this spring makeup look. I just wanted to do something fun and colourful since we're now in spring. If you want to know how I got this look, please keep watching. Okay, so as usual I'm going to start by priming my face, and today I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Paris Mattifying Face Primer. I actually find this primer really good. Personally, I think it's a dupe for the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. So yeah, give that a go. I'm just going to quickly colour correct today, so I'm starting with my Girl Pro Conceal concealer in, this is the orange Corrector. I'm just applying that under the eyes and just a small amount. This is just going to cover any dark circles. And I've also got a few blemishes, so I'm going to go in with the green colour, which is just the green Corrector. I'm just going to cover up those blemishes. And I also like to take this around the nose. I get a bit of redness there. I think that's it for now. And then I'm just taking a damp beauty blender and just pressing that into the skin. It's going to look really funny at first, but I promise it does make a difference. Next I'm going to apply my foundation, and today I'm going to be using my Perfection Lumiere Chanel foundation. This is actually a lot darker than my skin tone, but when I've got fake tan on it does match my neck pretty well, so I'm just going to apply a small amount because this is good coverage. And buff that into the skin. And this is a little bit on the pricey side, but if you're looking for a good foundation, I definitely recommend this one. My face just feels so airbrushed and smooth once I've applied it. And you want to blend that down to your neck. It is a really good match, I think. Okay, so the foundation should have covered the majority of the concealer. Can you hear that? There's a jet. And then once you've applied your foundation, you want to go straight in with the concealer. So today I'm using my NARS Creamy Concealer in Custard, I believe. Yep, Custard. And I'm just taking that underneath the eyes just to conceal. This is a really full coverage, thick concealer, so you don't want to apply too much. I like to take it into the corner of my eye as well, just because it's really dark in there, so this is just concealing that. I take it on my chin Cupid's bow, my forehead, and I take whatever's left on the brush down my nose, and then just a bit here. And whilst that's setting in place, I'm going to contour my cheekbones and my forehead using the LA Girl concealer in Beautifully Bronze. Nope, in Beautiful Bronze. I'm just taking a small amount here. So slope it down and then blend up. Then I'm just going to take my damp beauty blender again, the one I used for my concealer before. Just love concealer. You can see how much that's brightened up my under eyes already. So I'm taking a different sponge to blend out my contour. Now I always use a damp beauty blender to blend out the concealer, but I like to use a dry beauty blender on my contour. I don't know, it just blends better. And I literally just bounce the beauty blender. Okay, so now my face has some definition, and just quickly before I powder, I'm going to take my Benefit High Beam. And I'm literally just going to put 3 dots here, here, on my Cupid's bow, and one on the tip of my nose. And I just use my finger to blend that. This is a great product for summertime when you don't want to wear a lot of makeup but you still want that glow. And what I've really been into lately before applying all the powders is actually using my Fix Plus halfway through doing my makeup. So I'm just going to spritz this really quickly. This is hands down my favourite product from MAC. This is absolutely amazing. This really just pulls everything together. Okay, so next I'm going to move on to my brows. So I've been loving 2 different products lately. Starting with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow pomade in Ebony. I'm just taking a little bit of the pomade and brushing that through the brow. Light strokes. Okay, and then to create that tail, I just curve the brush up and then down, and I extend that slightly. Then I do the same on the top. So I'm making another line above. You want to go really gently with this line. Curving that brush down to join on with the tail. Then you're just going to fill in with light strokes. Like that. And you can see the difference. I know this looks really thick at the moment, but I will clean it up in a second. I'm just going to quickly do the other side. Okay, and then once I've got my shape, I've really been loving lately just setting the brows with my Brow Bar to Go by Whitening Lightning. And I've been taking the darker shade here, taking the same brush, and this is a powder form. So I just brush that through the brow, and I found it sets my eyebrows in place, they don't move all day. So these are my holy grail eyebrow products. And the combination of the pomade and the powder is a really good match to my hair colour. So really recommend those products. Brush through those brows, and then I flip the brush around and drag that product to the front of the brow. So you can see that it's blended here. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. This may seem like it's a lot of effort, but when I'm not talking it through, I can literally do my brows in like a minute, so it's just practice. Then to set everything in place, I'm using my Brow Artist Plumper by L'Oreal, which is just like a brow mascara. And I'm just combing that through. This will make your hair stay in place all day. This is actually the brown colour, but you can get this in transparent, and I recommend getting the transparent rather than the brown. Okay, and then to finish, I'm just gonna use my concealer. I'm using my MAC Prolongwear concealer in NW15. And I'm taking my definer brush by MAC, and I'm just taking a small amount of this and taking it under the brow, like so, and I take it under both brows, like that, and then you're just going to blend it out. So I blend down And I also take it into the corner of my eye. And then I'm also taking that on the inside. I'm also taking that product on the top. And I just really define the brows. Just cleans everything up. Okay, and now that the Fix Plus is set into my face, I'm just gonna take my e.l.f. High Definition Powder. And I'm taking my Beauty Blender again and just dabbing that underneath the eye. And I'm just going to leave that there to bake while I do my eyes. And I'm just going to be taking my MAC Prolongwear Paint Pot in Painterly. I always use this as an eyeshadow base, so I just take that definer brush and place it on my lid, just all over. You haven't got to be too neat about it. I'm just going to blend that out with my fingers. And today I'm going to be using my Naked 3 palette by Urban Decay. I'm just taking my MAC 224 brush, this is my favourite brush ever. And I'm taking the colour Strange, which is obviously my favourite colour. And I'm just putting that in the inner corner. And under the brow bone. Next I'm actually taking the Naked 3 brush and I'm using the colour Limit, the brownish pinkish tone matte shade, which I'm going to be using in my crease. So then I'm taking the blender brush again and just really blending that out. I forgot to mention I've put the powder on top of my concealer to set the concealer and bake my face while I'm doing the eyes. But what it's also doing is catching any fallout as I'm applying my eyeshadow, so I'll just brush that away later. And since this is a spring look, I'm gonna add a bit more pink. So I'm just taking the colour Buzz, which is a shimmery pink colour. Just lightly dabbing that on my lid. Okay, next I'm taking Burnout. Placing that on the inner third. Okay, and then I'm going to take my small Real Techniques detailer brush and I'm going back in with Strange, which was the lightest colour of all. I'm taking that on the inner corner and you can see that really brightens it up. I'm also dragging that underneath just on the inner third. Don't get it in your eye like me. And I'm taking the colour Dust, which is here. picking that up and tapping that on the centre. Okay, and I'm also taking that under the eye, just on the inner corner. I'm just taking my KIKO Smart Eye Pencil, and this is in the colour, does it have a colour? I don't know, it's just in Spanish. Anyway, I picked this up when I was at KIKO in Cardiff. So I'm just taking this in the middle of the under eye. And that just gives a pop of colour in the centre. And I'm going back in then with my Naked 3 palette, and I'm using the darkest colour of all, which is Blackheart. This one. I'm just taking that on the outer edge underneath. I'm blending it into the blue. So I'm just going to do a quick winged liner. I'm using my Maybelline New York Master Ink liquid liner, and this is the matte one. Okay, so I start from the centre, work my way out. Then I'm just going to gently flick up. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. And once that's done, I'm lining my waterline. So I'm just taking my Big Eyes liner in white. And now I'm going to take my falsies. I'm using the Demi Wispy by Ardell. And I'm also taking my Duo eyelash glue and just place them as close to the lash line as possible. So next I'm taking the MAC 134 and I'm just using this to wipe away all that powder. And I'm just taking a small amount of my MAC Studio Fix powder. This is in NC40. I'm just putting that on my T-zone. Next I'm going in with my Bourjois bronzing powder, chocolate bronzer. It looks like this. And now that you've bronzed up your face, I'm just going to blush. This is actually an eyeshadow by KIKO. When I went into the one in Cardiff the other day, a few of these pigments really stood out to me and I've heard they're amazing. But I've never seen anyone put them on their cheeks before. But I've been absolutely loving this colour as a springtime blush. It's really peachy and it's called Infinity High Pigmented Eyeshadow. So that's it there. This is really lovely as a blush, but it's also really, really nice as a transition shade on your eyes as well. Okay, and I'm just taking my Real Techniques powder brush. I'm blending that up. So apples of the cheeks, and then blend it up. And of course I'm going to highlight. I'm using my favourite highlighter, which is the Mary Luminizer by The Balm. And I'm just taking my MAC fan brush and dusting this on my cheekbones. My nose. And just slightly on the temples. And then I'm going back in with that small definer brush. I'm taking the highlighter and I'm just using that on the inner corners. And underneath my brow, just to highlight the brow bone. And then what you can do is go back in with your eyeliner just to find the inner corner. Okay, so for the lips I'm going to be taking my NYX lip liner pencil in Natural. And then on top of that, I'm just taking a small amount of my NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the colour Milan. But I'm not taking that all over, I'm literally just dotting that here. And then to set everything in place, I'm using my NYX Dewy Finish setting spray. And now the last step, I'm taking my L'Oreal Telescopic Extra Black Mascara. This is my favourite mascara. So I'm just giving them one coat and blending my lashes with the falsies.